Good afternoon, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. So, guys, I woke up really late today, and I don't have any puppy footage for you guys today, partly because of that, but also because, okay, I woke up late today, and I was able to get a lot of stuff done. I got dishes taken care of. I actually ended up making dinner because I completely forgot, because, again, I woke up so late today. Like, I think I woke up about 11 o'clock, which... Or no, maybe I woke up at like 10 o'clock, something like that. Yeah, I think it was closer to 10 o'clock or a little bit after 10. But I didn't like get out of bed until like 11 o'clock. But because of that, I didn't get a chance to put anything in the crock pot, and I completely forgot that I was even cooking because I think Friday threw me off a little bit. I don't normally cook on Fridays, but I ended up doing it because on Tuesday last week I didn't end up making anything. So anyways, long story short, I actually did end up making dinner tonight, and I did do like 2 loads of laundry, and I'm going to go put another load in real quick before I head to bed right now. But the problem is that because I woke up so late too, I didn't really get a whole lot of time actually to spend with the puppies. And then also too, we think they might actually have fleas, which because they're puppies, we can't give them like regular flea stuff, obviously. So my mom had to take them back to the what's it called, the shelter, and they gave us, or put some flea, like puppy flea stuff, I guess, on them. So that was what my mom had to do, because they don't like pre-treat them or anything like that for fleas, I don't think, like prior, but my mom noticed some like possible scabs on one of them and wasn't totally sure, so she wanted to just double check and make sure. And so just like precautionary wise, they ended up putting on like some of that stuff on all of them. So my mom was gone pretty much from like a good like hour and a half, almost 2 hours maybe, because it's a little bit further away. It's like 20 minute drive or so, I think, if it's the right shelter that I'm thinking of. Maybe even a little bit longer than that. But you know, her and Jack ended up going like right after school, like about 3 o'clock-ish, and they didn't get back until like 5 o'clock-ish or something like that. I think they ended up leaving a little after that, but anyways, because of that too, they weren't here for the whole day, so I didn't, you know, the point in time when I was awake. And then my mom actually went to bed at like 8 or 9 o'clock or something like that, and took the puppies with her. So that's why they're not even out right now. They're actually sleeping in their crate. So, or like, we have like one of those little portable little like pet carrier things. That's where they sleep. So you guys wouldn't even be able to see them right now anyway. So anyways, though, that's why I don't have any puppy footage for today. But like I said, I was able to get a load of dishes done today. I did make dinner, like a homemade dinner. It was actually just real easy. Spaghetti. I just made some spaghetti, and I chopped up some bell peppers, sauteed them for a little bit with some garlic sauce. I added a little bit of fresh basil and some tomatoes as well, and then I added it to just some plain spaghetti sauce, or like pasta sauce, and then added that over the spaghetti. So that was just like, it was a real quick fast dinner, but I wanted to make it a little bit like a heartier sauce, so that's why I added in some extra bell peppers and some grape tomatoes I chopped up as well and threw in there. You know, just to add a little bit more substance, because it was like a traditional blend or whatever that my mom had actually bought and hadn't used both jars, so she ended up, you know, saying I could use that one. And then I had some leftover spaghetti in the pantry, so I ended up just doing that because I completely forgot today. Actually almost 10:30 right now, so I'm going to try and get a shower and head to bed, because the Cubs game last night ended up going into super extra innings. It went into 18 innings and ended up, what was I going to say? It ended up going until like 1 o'clock last night. So I went to bed as soon as it was over. Well, actually, I went in my room at probably about midnight and then watched for another hour until it was finally over, and then I fell asleep in my room. But because of that, I was up super late, you know, because I was like, I really want to watch this now, because it was a good game, honestly. But then, like, you know, I just stayed up way too late, and I woke up really late because of that. But I want to go to bed early tonight, so I'm going to try and head to bed in the next couple minutes, and I'm going to take a shower. But because there was no Cubs game on, well, it was a rain delay tonight. Okay, so there's going to be a doubleheader tomorrow, but there was a rain delay tonight in Colorado because that's where they're playing. And so they didn't end up having a game. So what I actually ended up doing was reading my book. I told you guys yesterday that I got that H.P. Lovecraft book from Barnes & Noble, and I read one short story yesterday, and I read another one tonight, and oh my goodness, guys, it was so good. The other one, I knew the premise of the story. This one, I had a slight idea. Like, I was looking it up yesterday, like some of his better work, I guess, because like in the book, it just has a whole bunch of one, and I know they're all like his, I don't know, it's like the best of Lovecraft or whatever, but I didn't know which ones like I would kind of have liked more. This one was a really good one, and the only trouble is because I think most of his stories were written in like 1920s or whatever, so the writing is a little bit more like old-fashioned, and some of the stuff too I couldn't like totally understand, and so like that's just the thing that's a little frustrating to me, is that I like reading like older or classical, more classic like literature and stuff like that, but sometimes it's hard for me to understand because I don't always get the writing. Like Shakespeare is way over my head. I can't, like when we had to read Romeo and Juliet, I just pretty much spark notes the whole thing because I couldn't understand half the stuff they were talking about. Like part of it I could, but it can't, like if I can't understand it and it can't keep my interest long enough, I just completely like kind of zone out. And this one at the beginning, like it was a little bit slow to start off, and I was like, what are they talking about? You know, and then as it started to go on, this plot kind of started to thicken, and then I totally understood it. And I read the Rats in the Wall, I think is the one it was called, and as it went on, it was really good, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's a really good story. But you know, the problem was that, you know, again, it's kind of that older writing, and it was a little bit more like, you know, I guess I'm used to more current literature and stuff like that, and it was just a little bit more confusing, especially at the beginning, because I wasn't totally sure exactly like what I was reading and things like that. And so yeah, but it was such a good story, guys, honestly. Like I said, the one I read yesterday, I read Pickman's Model, which if you guys are Fallout 4 fans, you guys know it's a very similar story to Pickman's Gallery in Fallout 4. And so that's where I told you guys, learned about H.P. Lovecraft. And I love scary stories, though. You guys know I like spooky, scary movies and like all that scary stories and stuff like that. And so I was like really excited, like I really wanted to read this. And I like, you know, I had to read some Edgar Allan Poe stuff in like middle school and stuff like that, and I like that kind of stuff. And you know, even other, like I told you guys too, like ghost stories and stuff like that. I had a whole book. I actually have one up for Illinois, like it's Illinois' Big Book of Ghost Stories, and I love reading that one. But you know, this is like older, and it's more of a story based than like the ghost stories that I read are normally like really short. They're like a couple pages, you know, or whatever, and it just feels like it's too quick. This was like a very good, well, longer, I guess. And so I was gonna start reading another one last night during the Cubs game because it was just taking too long, but I only got through the first page and then my eyes started kind of dozing off. But I finished this one tonight. It was really good, guys. So yeah, instead of the Cubs game, I ended up reading, which is, you know, a good thing because I should read more. Like, you guys don't even know really or realize how much you actually end up reading, like articles and things like that online. Like, you know, I thought like, oh my gosh, I'm out of high school, like I'm not going to read books anymore and stuff like that. And I don't read books so much, but I read a lot of articles online, which I know isn't like, you know, I guess the exact same, but it's not like I'm like, you know, my reading skills are like horrible because I don't read books and things like that as much, or, you know, as much as I did in high school because I had to. But I read like so many things. Like I'll pin stuff on Pinterest all the time, and I'll read like articles about, you know, health or beauty things, you know, or like you know, just all kinds of stuff like that, or like food. And that's kind of what I'm into, is like, you know, I don't even know what to say, like you know, organic eating and stuff like that, like benefits of that kind of stuff. And I read a lot more of those kind of articles and things like that. I'll read as much as I did in high school, but I just don't read books quite as much. And I do really like reading books, and so I want to more, because a lot of times it'll just be like I'll get distracted on something on Pinterest or, you know, on Facebook or whatever, and then all of a sudden I'll be reading a whole article. But it's not like I don't actually take the time to sit down and be like, okay, I'm gonna sit down now and read something. You know, normally it's just kind of like a sidetrack thing or whatever. But anyways, so guys, I'm going to take a shower and head to bed early tonight, and hopefully I'll have some puppy footage for you guys tomorrow, because again, I'd like to be able to get up early because I wasn't today. So I will see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today, so make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.